Hey guys, the video you're about to see, or I hope you see if you stick around, is a re-upload of my last video. Why? Because when I first published it, YouTube instantly flagged it as non-monetizable due to a copyright claim. First, this was suspicious because it happened instantly, before I even made the video viewable to the public. Second, the part of the video that's claimed to infringe on somebody's copyright is literally nothing but gunfire. Just me shooting at the range. With the exception of my ducks intro, I've stopped using music of any kind in my work for a long time, because even though I only use music for which I have a paid license, the constant harassment of copyright claims was just unbearable. Normally, I would dispute the claim, indicate the source of my paid license for use, and it would be dropped. Still annoying, but at least the process sort of worked. But with this one, I disputed the claim, and after waiting a couple of weeks, it was reported back that the claimant still maintains their claim. So, either the sound of gunfire can be copyrighted, or they simply maintained the claim without even investigating it. In other words, they lied. And YouTube supports this. In fact, if I dispute it further, it's solely up to the claimant to make the final determination. The person falsely accusing you is the one sitting on the judge's bench. Yeah, that's a great process. So what other sounds can we claim copyright on? The sound of an airplane flying overhead? Traffic on a highway? Barking dogs? So I'm muting out the reported part of my video that seemed to be offending some disreputable scammers and the mindless process at YouTube, and I'm re-releasing it. Thanks for listening to my rant, but this sort of thing is important because this is the death of content creation. Okay, I have here a SIG Sauer P320 M18, and I have here also a SIG Sauer P320 M18. Bit different though. This one is plain out of the box, just the way it comes, and this one is all dressed up. Talk about the all dressed up version a lot more, and the reason I have the two of them out here is just simply to do a quick comparison on the grip. So this one is a recent acquisition, and I picked it up used, actually. It just came into the shop where I do my transactions at a really ridiculously good price. And I said, yeah, I know I've already got one, but but man, that's a good price. So basically, I got the whole package for less than what the optic would cost. So, no brainer, am I right? Not only was it a fantastic price, but there's also other things that attracted me to it. Number one, it's already, like I say, it's got the Romeo 1 Pro already on it. I know what that's worth. I already have one. Now I have two. But it's got the Wilson Combat grip frame, which I've been very curious to feel in real life and test out. So now I can do that. And it's got the Go Gun gas pedal, which is installed in place of the takedown lever, basically, and also provides you with this nice gas pedal. So interested to check that out as well. I'll talk a little bit more about those components as we go. But first, my objective with the two guns here is just to evaluate the Wilson Combat grip frame compared to the standard SIG grip frame, and you can't do that academically. You got to have
both of them in your hand and you got to shoot one, then shoot the other. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's get started. Unless you want me to talk more. I can talk more. No? Get started? Okay. All right, first up, the regular SIG Sauer P320 M18. I'm just going to call it the M18 from now on because I don't get paid by the syllable. One of the things that I'm not a big fan of with the M18, and this applies to both of these guns equally, is that the slide release lever is really, really close to the thumb safety, which makes it hard to reach around. If you've got the safety on, like I do now, to try and reach around and drop the slide, you pretty much have to drop the safety as well, which you don't necessarily want to do. And yeah, I know there's lots of other ways to drop the slide, but that is a way, and for some people, myself included, that's often a preferred way. So that's a complaint. All right, here we go. Standard grip frame, M18. Comfortable. I've always liked this P320 design. So no real complaints. But now let's try the Wilson Combat. And just picking it up, you can feel a difference, a significant difference. And it's not just the texture that Wilson Combat has carved into the frame. Obviously, they have their sort of Wilson Combat, you know, semi-starburst type of pattern there. That's just good marketing and brand recognition. And it does provide some tactile grip. But in the front and the back, front strap and back strap, they've stuck with stippling, but it's a more pronounced stippling. It's a deeper stippling, or more raised perhaps, than the standard grip. So you do notice it more. The other thing you notice more is a deeper cutout, a deeper undercut under the trigger guard. The Wilson Combat frame has a little bit more of a beaver tail, and whether the cut radius is deeper or not, it makes it feel like it is because you got a lot more beaver tail sticking out, getting into the web of your hand. So all in all, just holding it without firing it so far, I prefer the feel of the Wilson Combat frame. All right, let me shoot some. Yeah, I do like it quite a bit. It feels like I've just got a deeper grip into the frame of the gun. The web of my hand goes deeper into that beaver tail. My middle finger gets deeper under the trigger guard. I like that. I like that there's texture all the way up, way above the magazine release for my thumb. Real nice cutout for being able to reach that magazine release like that without altering your grip. And from another aftermarket perspective, never tried one before, but this Go Gun gas pedal, I'm liking that. That's a nice upgrade, because really with the standard SIG frame and takedown lever, which is pretty flat, there's really nothing to do with that forward thumb. This gives you a nice place to plant it. One of the things I like about that is, you competitors probably will appreciate this perspective maybe, is that having a gas pedal, obviously it's about control and your grip strength and, you know, and having a hold on the gun and controlling recoil and all those things. But a lot of that, or as much of that for me, is consistency. If you've got a place where you're putting that forward thumb, then you know that forward thumb's always in the same place every time. And consistency is king.
Okay, so I picked up the second M18 for a great price, as I said at the range. All indications were that it had been very gently used. I probably should do a video dedicated to buying on the used market sometime, but that might take several volumes by topic. But in all honesty, it really feels a lot like a different gun compared to the M18 that I already had. I bought that one when they were first released to the market, It's really just a glorified P320 in a nice coyote brown and tan coloring with a couple of add-ons and maybe a couple of takeaways. I consider the manual safety to be a takeaway. It was a military contract requirement, and I understand why. I get that. But it does me no good at all on a striker-fired double-action only pistol. And as I mentioned at the range, it interferes with the slide release swipe movement. A big difference with this one is that the original owner either purchased it with the Wilson Combat grip frame option or made that change later. I assume probably the latter, as I think it's only available as a separate grip frame. The other add-on is the Go Gun gas pedal. These two changes are certainly enough to give the pistol a completely different feel. And, as I said, I prefer the feel of the Wilson Combat grip frame. And there's really not a lot different aside from the ergonomics. The way it's configured, it's the carry frame with the 4-inch barrel, 3.9 inches to be exact. Overall length is 8 inches. The height depends on the magazine used. It comes with a 17 round and a 21 round with a tall extension baseplate. The color is coyote and it's finished in PVD material. It uses the by now well-known internal fire control group, of which the trigger is part. This is the serialized firearm. The grip frame is interchangeable. So let me acknowledge the elephant in the room. The M18 is essentially a P320, and there's a lot of controversy over them right now. My perspective on all of this is that I don't really have an opinion, despite the name of my channel. I have neither experienced nor witnessed any problems, such as those that are described. But it is also true that absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. So I remain open-minded. I've heard strong opinions from people both ways. These are people that I trust and respect. Those opinions are valuable to me, but they are not my own. So if you're hoping that I'll go off on some rant in either direction, it's just not going to happen. But I don't have any complaints with however you might feel. I hope that seems fair enough. I am glad I picked this M18 up, and if I decide that I don't need two, it might be the one that I keep. The bottom line is that the grip frame and the gas pedal make an entirely different gun. And one that's probably a nice match gun. But as long as I have both of these guns handy, I wonder if the voices of siblings blend better than others. Like the Jacksons, or the Bee Gees. Let's see how it sounds when they play the song of my people. And let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And you can really support this channel and help me keep content flowing by hitting like and being a subscriber. And I'm on Patreon if you want to support me that way. Look down in the description of this video and you'll see several discount codes and affiliate links. You can save significant money on products that I use and recommend, like lock grips. This is just an opinion. Hope to see you again real soon. Thanks for watching.